Hello and welcome to the Otaku Clubhouse podcast. My name is Akuma Soul, and today I am joined by the usual Mr. Bancho El Gato Felix.
You know, this month's Will Smith's least favorite.
Why is that?
Because it's August.
I get it. That's good. That's good.
And I am also joined by the mecha pilot from the future, Hawk Kaiser, the final brave.
What's up, player?
So, I mean, if you're not busy reading the news through the cracks in your fingers and wondering if the world is coming to an end, we have plenty of stuff that we'd like to talk about that is a little bit on the brighter side and a little bit on the downer side.
Bro, the world ended 5 years ago.
The world ended and it's all a simulation?
Yes. Continue.
Yeah, I'm starting to believe that, especially considering the fact that even though the XFL died earlier in the year, guess what? It's fucking back? Question mark?
Resurrection.
It's the fucking XFL, for anyone who doesn't know, is... What's the best way to describe the XFL? Alternative football?
It's an alternative to the monopoly of the NFL.
Yeah. So, it's basically an alternative to football created by Vince McMahon, the owner of the WWE.
Kennedy McMahon. Okay? Say the whole thing.
And earlier in the year, he, alongside of a bunch of investors, decided that they were going to resurrect the XFL because I have no idea.
Little did they know that 2020 was the worst possible time.
Yes, so quite literally, the world started coming to an end and the XFL died off, I think, after their fourth game of the season?
Yeah.
Their fifth game of the season?
They had no choice. They had to be shut down, and the investors were not happy. Basically, McMahon was planning to get all the money back from the season, but because the season was fucking canceled because of coronavirus, well, that shit went belly up. So XFL had to declare bankruptcy again after just being revived. But
yeah, and as the XFL was slowly dying, everybody was getting off the ship. People were quite literally getting ready to sue Vince McMahon. People who were in on the whole XFL thing were getting ready to sue him. And then, much like he always does, you hear the sudden glass shatter, and, oh, is that Stone Cold? No, it's The Rock!
the glass
Rock. The fucking Rock decided that he was going to invest in the XFL and buy it alongside of one of his partners. And it's insanity.
He quite literally bailed fucking Vince McMahon out. Like, this is what you call long-term company loyalty. Somebody wouldn't just do this for anybody. The fact that The Rock went out of his way, spent $15 million to purchase the XFL in the hopes of it returning, like, it is a hope, because we have no idea when coronavirus is going to... So basically, he just threw money at Vince for the sake of saving the XFL. And this is crazy, right?
It's absolutely insane. There was a lot of weird, there's a lot of weird rulings with the XFL that they implemented in order to draw ratings and stuff, like a shorter play clock, I believe. And there was, as if, the XFL couldn't have been more cursed. In the very first game of the XFL, in the very first opening play, in order to decide which team gets the ball, instead of a coin toss, they would have a sprint to the ball. They would have two men on both sides run and sprint to get the ball, and in the very first instant that happened, one of the guys dislocated his shoulder.
See, the thing about the XFL is that isn't it extreme?
Yes.
Football league?
Yes.
If it's extreme, they gotta do more than that. You get rid of pass interference penalties and
well, I mean, they're
penalties and shit.
They are. Well, what was I gonna say? Well, you can't get rid of offsides, and niggas would just be cheating. It'd be like fucking blitz. But there's no sideline. There's just the fucking padded wall. I liked the XFL back in the day. I looked into why it failed, and it wasn't really because of the game's fault. There's like external reasonings, just like now, just like the second reboot or the first reboot, I should say. XFL has a lot of potential, honestly. Like, and I know people are like, oh, you can't compete against an established brand. Well, on the West Coast at least, Ice Cube, the rapper, has like this alternative professional basketball league, and it's been running for like 3 seasons, or it was running for 3 seasons. It might be in the same fucking, might be in the same boat as
same boat as every other sport.
Yeah, but it was doing pretty good. Like they aired episodes. They played games during the NBA's off season, and it was doing pretty well. It was like it was doubling in size every year. It was looking to be like a legitimate competition to the NBA. Well, not competition because off season, right? But
yeah, I mean that's how the XFL was running, because it was like, hey, when football is done and you still have that football craving, you can stick around for some XFL.
Yeah, and well, we like I said, it's gonna be a waiting game to see if this fucking investment pays off. That is insane of The Rock to do, but then again, man makes a lot of money off of Hollywood and off of hosting other shows, so he can do what he wants.
I think he's like the highest paid actor in Hollywood.
Yeah, he is.
No way.
He actually is, because he might not be the most, like, he might not be the greatest actor, he might not be the most, awarded, but he is the highest paid. Niggas will pay for The Rock.
Where most of his money comes from? Most of his money comes from the fact that he makes big blockbusters, and guess where they all do really well in?
China.
Yep.
Goddamn Chinese.
Well, there's not. Can you think of a single fucking country or like culture that hates The Rock? That's going to be a tough one.
No, I bet you that the Chinese government hasn't even realized that The Rock is half black yet.
Moving on.
Otherwise, they would just. What, you got some Chinese investors? You ain't tell us about, Felix?
They don't realize that we're black. That we're moving on.
All right. Moving on to what happened over the past week
and
I guess.
Whatever.
Yeah. So let's just talk about all the information that's coming out about like the PlayStation 4 and the PlayStation 5 and all this fucking Marvel shit, and it's just not been a really good week for a PlayStation in terms of the consumer.
Still no price. We'll get that out the way. Her price, no.
Price fucking chicken shit. It's ridiculous.
This price cold war.
Petty thing that I've seen in a long time from big ass companies. Dude.
Bro, ain't this supposed to come out
prices.
in 2 months? What the fuck? Well,
it's embarrassing.
Yeah, it is. Just announce your price, and if you're overpriced, just lower your price. No,
I can't
but
do
then our stocks will go down.
Damage the brand. Damage the brand. Come on. We know what we're doing.
Anyways, so more news came out about the PS5, and it's going to have cross-compatibility, apparently, with some of with the previous console, the PlayStation 4. For instance, you'll be able to use your PS4 controllers on your PS5, which will probably make your PS4 controller blow up, the way they're made. But the caveat being, you can't play PlayStation 5 games with anything except for a PlayStation 5 controller. Now, who the fuck knows why this is? Probably some fucking gimmick bullshit. But what do you fellas think?
I wonder how that's gonna work with arcade sticks and third-party controllers.
Oh, dude. We can talk about this more when we talk about that fighting game thing. Spoiler. But the whole thing about arcade sticks never working whenever there's a new generation of consoles is just like, it pisses Japanese people off, dude. Like, there are some people who, like, they got a Dreamcast stick, didn't work on PS2, obviously. They got a PS2 stick, didn't work on PS3. PS3 stick didn't work on PS4. And it probably is not going to work on PS5 either. Or a PS4 stick. So, if you use arcade sticks, that's an investment you got to keep making every fucking generation.
Stop putting sticks in your hand. Get on pad.
Look, all I'm gonna say is that this is just something I don't understand. If a PlayStation 5 game, say whatever it is, I don't know, whichever one's gonna be on a PlayStation 5, if it's cross-generational, will the PS4 controller work on the PS5?
No.
That doesn't... Because there's the PlayStation 5 controller, I can understand if there was ingrained things in it that caused it, ingrained things that they needed, the fucking PlayStation, with the PlayStation 4, there are gimmicks on the PlayStation 4 games, like the touchpad that you need to use in order to play certain games. But I don't know, they still have the touchpad on the PlayStation 5 controller. What am I missing? Maybe is it that weird fucking dual sense bullshit that they were talking about?
Yeah, maybe they stole the thing from the fucking Joy-Cons, which, knowing Sony's history, they probably did. So, I don't know.
Has a fucking IR pointer on it, yeah.
I don't know, dude. Honestly, it's kind of weird, right? Because you could just buy the PS4 version of these cross-generational games and play them on your PS5. Well, you should be able to, but we don't know. All we know is that the 100 most played games are going to be backwards compatible to start, but we don't know if they're going to fucking follow through with that. And of course, if you get a PS5, it's most likely going to have a controller with it. If it doesn't, to keep the price point down, it's going to... that would be...
What is really going to suck is the fact that good and well, among those 100 played games, half of those things are going to be things that we don't care about personally.
They're going to be fucking NBA 2K. Well, can't say that anymore. We got fucking Bionic.
Well,
got fucking.
It was
the cheese was on the hook,
PSN,
and it was free.
It's fun to shitpost in that game. You don't take it seriously like half these little niggas you see on YouTube who are fucking blowing up their goddamn controllers.
The 2K culture is these niggas fucking they legitimately bet thousands of dollars on 2K games, dude. On matches, I should say.
That's what it's like in any of the fucking sports game communities. They take that shit way more serious than fucking fighting games and stuff.
I mean, yeah, look at the Madden. I can't joke about that. I'm being serious. Look at the Madden community. Jesus Christ, nigga got so mad that he lost. He's a piece of shit. But yeah, that shit is crazy. And we wonder why is that allowed to be mainstream, but the fighting game, sexual assault.
I don't want any games that I like to be mainstream. Man, this might be hipster, but I'm sick of these normal ass niggas, dude. I'm sick of these niggas who started gaming on the PS3, running their fucking mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Tired of it. I'm sick of it. Let games go back to being nerd shit that only fucking losers play, dude.
So you're saying you don't want the Gundam Extreme versus Maxi Busan World Circuit?
No, I don't. I really don't.
They would need to fix the online first.
Well, yeah, the games online is trash. But it also has a very high learning curve, and I don't want these little niggas to be, oh no,
dumb it down, please.
Forward stepping is too hard. Please. Take it on.
Give the Shining Gunman super armor. I keep getting hit. Yeah, well, the most compatible game bullshit. We don't know anything about. It feels like we don't know enough about the fucking PS5 at this point, aside from the fact that it exists.
Why would you want us to get information? They have to play their little fucking dick swinging game with Microsoft. Slowly reveal more information about the console that's coming out in 2 months, 3 months?
About 3 months, because I think they said it would be announced in November.
Embarrassing.
So, the problem here is, and this is something that everybody always says in the background, because, the days of the PS3 are still fondly remembered.
Mm-hmm.
I use air quotes there. I think that we might really be heading back into arrogant Sony.
Oh,
arrogant Sony
definitely.
never left.
It always
they
happens.
never left.
Yes, they did.
Here's the thing, though.
Sony got humbled in PS. You forget. You fucking forget. Sony got super fucking humbled, dude. Especially after the hack. And then after
no,
that...
no. I'm talking about the arrogant Sony era post, like, since the PS4 came out. PS4 Sony has been abysmal. You gotta remember that these niggas was out here like, yo, dropping these games.
I think what Akuma's referring to is like the PS2 was wildly successful, the most successful console ever made at that point, and like in the top 3 right now. And then the PS3, they thought they could fucking get away with it. They thought they could $600. Giant enemy crab. That shit was garbage. They got humbled there, and then the fucking massive hack. They got super fucking humbled there, and then
that and the fact that they realized, you got to remember, at one point the fucking presidents of Sony were like, oh, we want the PS3 to be like owning a luxury item. We want people to look at it and say, I want to buy that because it's so expensive.
We want you to have that as your entire entertainment setup for your entire house.
Yeah, and if you can't afford it, just get a second job.
So that's partially the reason why the PS4 was so, I should say, like, with a few outstanding issues, like having to pay for the online. The PS4, from launch to like current, they really put a lot of fucking effort into it. This generation, I should say.
Yeah, and this is like, the main reason I'm thinking we're heading towards arrogant Sony is because of a story that I had slightly mentioned before. So, as everyone knows, this new Marvel game is coming out soon, right? The new Marvel Avengers game, and it's got all the fucking heroes from the Avengers. It's got Captain America, Hawkeye is coming out as later DLC, Thor, Black Widow, Hulk, all the others.
Miss Marvel.
And
yes.
Here's the thing. They said that they're going to be adding in more characters over time because, unfortunately, and I say this is, like, really unfortunately, I think this is a bad thing, they're going to be making it into one of those live service games like Destiny or whatever else.
Jesus, fuck.
But that's not the big problem. The big issue is the fact that they're going to be adding in more heroes. And when people talk about Marvel, the characters who are associated with them are obviously, as of now, Captain America, Iron Man, and Spider-Man. And according to what a lot of the information that's coming out now saying is, Spider-Man is going to be a Sony system exclusive for this upcoming Marvel game. It's going to be a free, he's going to be a free character added into the game, and he is going to be a Sony system exclusive.
You mean Peter Parker Spider-Man, because I think Miles Morales Spider-Man is on both, unless I'm wrong.
No, I don't think. I think it's only on it's only Spider-Man. It's only Peter Parker Spider-Man. Miles is not in the game. And if you're talking about the Miles Morales PS5 game,
no, I was thinking that Miles Morales was going to be a character in the Avengers game.
No. But here's the thing. This instantly devalues the Xbox version by like what some people might see as a small amount, but I want you to think about it like this. Think about the fact that you would be paying as an Xbox owner the same amount of money for a game that will never have the same amount of content.
It's not even just the same amount of content, it's like key content. It's not like a fucking one-off obscure Marvel character. It's fucking Spider-Man. That's top 3
Spider-Man.
Fucking popular Marvel characters.
I thought we would
know popular,
dude. No, he's top 3 superheroes.
Yeah,
just in general.
I thought
up
we
there
would
with Batman and Superman.
Never go back to this point because you remember during the PS3 360 days they used to have that. Well, no, during the PS2 Xbox original days, they used to have this whole gimmick where PS2 gets Heihachi, Xbox gets Spawn, that type of stuff. GameCube gets Link. And then in the PS3 360 days, they would have like exclusive guest characters, but they were usually, Sony's exclusive guest characters. Like
Right.
Like Kratos being in Mortal Kombat 9.
Exactly. And here's the thing, though. I can justify the idea of Link being an exclusive to the Nintendo GameCube version of fucking Soul Calibur.
Because Nintendo. Yes, yeah.
And it's like, Heihachi was basically them being like, well, Tekken's normally on PlayStation console, so that makes sense, right? And Spawn, I don't.
Spawn is black and green, and the Xbox is black and green.
But it's fucking Spider-Man.
Yes, one of the most important the most important Marvel character in the fucking universe.
Yeah, and it's to the point that people have, like, I've been looking at people tweeting online, and they say, well, it makes sense since Sony owns Spider-Man.
No! Like, Jesus.
No, Sony doesn't own Spider-Man. Sony owns the film rights to Spider-Man. If you happen to forget, when was it? I think it was last year? Yeah. Last year, Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 came out, and Spider-Man was in that.
Yeah.
So why is this happening?
And Spider-Man is in the Marvel Cinematic Universe because Sony's not opposed to letting people use him, even though they own the rights to the character. Well, they own the rights to, like, film and video game appearances of the character. But it's just like, this actually does a disservice to the game as a whole, right? Because I want to point out when they had I think it was a few weeks back, or maybe it was just a month or so, when they were revealing more information about the Avengers game, they were showing characters, which, by the way, I don't want to keep harping on this, but the designs of the characters in this game is pretty off. It's pretty wag, though. It's like it's like the porn parody Avengers. But no, they were revealing.
You have fucking Christopher Evans and Marcus Ruffalo
and fucking Scarlet
Johannesburg.
Yeah. Anyways, so they were like, yeah, joining the cast is Ms. Marvel. And I remember the discourse being like, oh, she's okay. Kamala Harris, she's okay, but she's like, Kamala Harris. Oops. Kamala Khan.
Jeez, man. Lay out all your cards on the table.
Anyways, the discourse was like, she's okay, but she doesn't really roll with the Avengers. She's like street level. Like, you know what would have been cool? They should have announced Spider-Man. And everybody's like, yeah, they should have announced Spider-Man. You know, some people who, like, endlessly defend stuff, it's like, no, let her, they don't need Spider-Man. But the fact that they had Spider-Man loaded in the fucking chamber, but it's only for PS4, you kind of fucked up your own marketing, dude.
Like, how can anyone look at this as anything other than devaluing another version of the game? It's like, what are they gonna do? Are you gonna give Xbox an exclusive hero? And at that point, it's like, what hero does Marvel have that can equal Spider-Man directly? Are they gonna give him like who? Are they gonna give them?
They can keep like trying to pretend that fucking Captain Marvel is, but it's
no. I mean,
please,
honestly,
please.
I can only think of like Wolverine, and they wouldn't do that because they can't market Wolverine.
Well, I don't see. No, that's the thing. They can do that now, but here's the thing, right? Adding Wolverine to it, I don't feel Wolverine quite equals the level of Spider-Man.
Not anymore. Wolverine got fucked by petty bullshit. All the X-Men did.
Straight up, the only thing that I could think that would make sense is like they're going to have the only thing that could fit is like they put 3 X-Men in the Xbox version. It would have to be like Wolverine, Storm, and Colossus.
The only way they can salvage this is by saying that it's a timed exclusive, which I don't like. I don't like timed exclusives. I don't like when Xbox does it. I don't like when Sony does it. But that would...
Timed exclusives are so stupid, man.
Yeah. Remember, Xbox got the rights to Phantasy Star Online for like 2 months?
Yeah, but they also had the right to those Tomb Raider games for a while too. Remember that?
Yeah, but then those just ended up coming out anyways.
I really hate the idea of a timed exclusive is probably one of the worst. I feel like that's one of the worst things to come with video games moving forward, because, like, think about it. It's not it's a timed exclusive. What? So you're literally telling me that you just want my money faster. Like, you just want my money faster.
I don't really like third-party exclusives at all, to be honest.
You're delaying a game for these users because this other company, like, holy crap, that's so fucking scummy.
I don't like third-party exclusives at all. First party, second party, yeah, that makes sense, right? But when you're just like, like, say, an Activision or you're an Atlas, right? And you're like, well, we're only making this series for, PlayStation, and then we're only making this other series. I'm getting that fucking SMT Persona thing for Switch, right? It's just like, wouldn't you make a lot more money if you just put them on both consoles? How much money did Sony pay you? How much money did Nintendo pay you for exclusive rights? It can't be more than you would make, right?
Especially when it's something like, if it's something that actually cannot work on a console, like if it's something that's like fucking, they can't put fucking Final Fantasy VII Remake on the Switch because it wouldn't fucking work. But if it's gonna be something like fucking Persona 5, like, I get that game has a lot of stuff going on with it, but
it was
you
on
can't
the PS3.
not tell me.
The Switch is starting
exactly, you can't tell me that it just can't run on a fucking Switch.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit. Oh god, I hate, I really do hate the way the fucking video game industry handles all this stuff, especially right now.
Yeah.
Between that and like the fighting game stuff that happened earlier, it leaves me feeling like, man, it's not been a really great week or so for video games.
To be fair about this fighting game, there was like, we'll move on to this topic. There was a last minute fighting game. What is it called? Japanese Fighting Game Summit. What was the actual name of it?
I think it was like a round table or something.
No, I mean, there was like a name for it. Anyway, Harada.
It's not important.
Right, it's not important. The Tekken guy, Harada, and Arika, who made Fighting EX Slayer and Street Fighter EX series, and also I think he was the director behind the original Street Fighter 2. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. But he basically went to Harada, and he's like, sucks that Mr. Wizard is a pedophile, and he got Evo canceled. We should make up for that. So they made this whole thing. They invited a whole bunch of people. They got the Dead or Alive guys in there. They got Bandai Namco. They got ArcSys. They got Capcom. They got King of Fighters. They got SNK, and they also invited Nintendo. But I think Sakurai couldn't make it or something. There was like a conflict of schedules because this was a very last minute thing.
Yeah, apparently it was like, it was literally just one of those things where they were like, hey, let's all get together, and if we're all going to be together, we might as well stream it. And a lot of the people who were there, like one of them, I forget who it was, somebody actually had to leave like in the middle of it.
Right.
And like had to actually go back to work.
Had prior obligations. Daisuke, yeah. And he sent one of his little interns, and the nigga Harada was making fun of him.
The only thing that came out of that whole thing that got me was how much of a fucking character Harada really is. So,
when the Dead or Alive guys were talking, this man Harada fucking brought out the picture of Itagaki. Oh my god. And one of the Dead or Alive guys was like, no, not that.
Like, they're making jokes and stuff like that, and the Dead or Alive guy is like, hey, look, if I hold my picture of Tamaki just right, it makes it so that she's the only thing in frame, and this man Harada starts slowly lifting up the picture of fucking Oatmeal Cookie right up on the script, right up on the frame.
How did he know? This man is a fucking psychic, dude.
Well, there's something that I actually heard. So, you know how Harada is always seen with sunglasses on, right?
Oh, they actually talked about this in the conference. He was like, when he collaborated with Capcom to make Street Fighter Tekken, they wanted to be seen as the good guys. So they asked him to be an asshole and wear sunglasses everywhere, and then he did it, and then he never stopped doing it because he liked it so much.
He literally liked playing the heel. The man was so into the idea of being the bad guy that he just lives it out on Twitter, on fucking interviews, and everything he does.
And they also announced that the director... Is it the director or is she like the executive producer? Anyways, the one that you always see for Dragon Ball FighterZ. And she declined, whatever. This nigga Harada came out and was like, oh, that's because she was feeling fat. She didn't want to be seen on camera. So can you say that? God.
Fucking asshole.
I don't think Harada really cares if he can say it or not. I think he just does what he really wants to do.
He's been hanging around that nigga Poke Chop too long.
I think it's the fact that he has too much power at Namco Bandai at this point.
I mean, he's earned it. He's earned it.
He's like one of the main dudes at like Namco Bandai, if not the main guy at Namco Bandai.
And he took over their esports division too. So yeah. A few topics they covered. They didn't cover everything they wanted to because they were like under time constraints. There's like, this was pretty much the only time you could have seen all these dudes like doing a round table like this. And hopefully they'll do another one, right? Hopefully this becomes the replacement.
Disagree. Hopefully they just don't do that ever again because
no. It was the reason we're telling you. The reason why it was trash is because it was last minute. They had other obligations, like the Side Games or the ArcSys guy was like, "Yeah, we can't really tell you anything because we had stuff planned for Grand Blue and these other games later on." Dragon Ball, we were going to announce stuff later on, so we can't really announce it now. But Capcom had announcements. They had like pseudo announcements because, as we would find out later on, meaning today, as of the time of this recording, they wanted to announce their Season 5 stuff today, so they couldn't do it last week.
Yeah, so most of the stuff that we can just go over real quick. All the announcements that were shown, or all of the announcements from the event. The obvious one that caught my eye was the fact that Tekken 7 is still getting more stuff. Yeah, Season 4 announced.
A new character was teased. It looks like the ninja from Tekken Tag Tournament 2. I forget what her name is, like Kunimitsu?
Kunimitsu.
Kunimitsu.
Was it confirmed to be Kunimitsu?
No, but that's what people are guessing based on the outline of the teaser trailer.
Maybe it's gonna be another new character who fucking ruins the balance of the game and makes.
Oh, and another thing is Tekken is they're adding stuff to. They claim to want to improve the online. They're also going to add a Wi-Fi indicator, so you can discriminate against niggas on Wi-Fi.
Finally.
I like how everybody has always talked about that, and it's like, you guys do know that like DOA has been doing that since it came out, and everybody's like, I don't care. No,
I don't play DOA. I don't know core values.
Fucking core values ended up saving the day. Also, Setsuka for Soul Calibur, which I'm not a fan of.
I don't like her design. Her design. I like her classic design, but
I'm not a fan of Setsuka, but I feel like Setsuka falls under the same rule as Baiken, where people who are like, yeah, I play Setsuka.
Yeah.
It's like,
no, you she's too Setsuka, fucking bro? Hard, you dumbass.
Yeah, it's like, do you really play Setsuka, man? Do you really?
I play Setsuka. Yeah, man. I play Setsuka in training mode when I remove the fucking menu. So.
Oh, you play Setsuka. How come you weren't playing that nigga Alpha Patroclus and Soul Calibur 5?
Because nobody actually likes Patroclus because he's a fucking corny ass.
Yeah, but if that's your gameplay, I like Setsuka for the gameplay. Like, oh, okay, really? Nigga, do the just frame fucking AB.
So I'm guessing you play biking too then, huh? Yeah, bro. Biking main since day one.
Get the fuck out of here.
I did play biking.
Samurai Showdown Season Pass 3.
It's getting some fucking Chinese gacha character.
Trash.
Samurai Showdown is weird. Why do you have the warden
weird,
from
dude.
For Honor and then some fucking Tencent character in the same game?
Like, honestly, it wouldn't surprise me if at this point, like, they were just like, oh, new DLC character, and it's fucking Genji from Overwatch.
New DLC character, Kermit the Frog with 2 katanas.
Kermit the Frog wielding 2 keyblades. Let's see, what else was there? They announced that there will be a Dragon Ball Fighters Z show set for August, sometime in August. We have no idea when. They haven't gotten back to us with that. Then there's also Arc Revo Online 2020 set for October, which is going to be an online tournament for like all the Arxis games. Yeah. You know, so basically the 2 Arxis games that anybody plays anymore, which are Grand Blue and fucking Tag Battle.
Well, in America, in America it's those 2 well, I think it's Grand Blue and Dragon Ball Fighters, actually. But in Japan, they have a bunch of tournaments for all their games, which is big thing.
I don't think Dragon Ball falls under this though.
It is
just judging by the graphic I'm looking at.
Oh, then again, yeah, Dragon Ball probably has the Dragon Ball World Tour. Will have an online.
Actually, let me bring this up. It is Cross Tag, Grand Blue, Central Fiction, Rev 2, Zard Rev 2, and Uniclear.
Yeah, but those last 3 games are only in Japan. Because they know. They fucking know.
Yeah. But, I mean, I'm assuming that this is where they're going to announce more things like the new Grand Blue character, whichever the next one is. And probably they're going to announce... I'm kind of hoping that they announce something for Blaze Blue, but I honestly couldn't care if it's
a completed series, in my opinion. And they're holding on for like another crossover game, like Guilty Gear Cross Blaze Blue. That's what I feel.
I guess I could wait. Like, I'm not dying for Blaze Blue right now. And the final announcement was Leo Whitefang and Naga Ryuki.
A very unfortunate name, by the way.
Naga Ryuki.
Yeah.
I mean, he looks cool. I'll probably give him a try when the game.
But my nigga Leo, though. They gave him a fucking power bomb.
Always been corny. Always will be. Fuck
already know. You already know. It's gorilla season.
Time to mash. But no, the only I was watching Naga Ryuki and I was like, he kind of looks like what everybody, like he's doing things like he's fucking doing flying with the sword and shit like that. He looks kind of like what people expect Hakumen to be, almost, when they are like playing him.
But I'll be honest with you, looks kind of slow, dude. Like,
oh no, he looks very slow. But then again, the game itself looks way slow. Aside from like Milia and Eddie, like most of the other characters I've been watching, they all look slow.
Mm. I mean, when you play the game, it's kind of fucking fast. Well, when I played that cock and ball torture, the CBT, it was kind of fast, but that's because the damage was so high.
have there been any other new characters announced aside from Nagoriyuki for this game? Like new to Guilty Gear in general.
New to Guilty Gear. No. Everybody's been a returning character except for him.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I'm assuming that they're going to probably have one more character added, at least. Like, one more.
From judging by the previous games, there has to be one or two more.
So Strive launches in spring of 2021 for PS5, PS4, PC, and arcades. They have plenty of time to add in whoever they really want.
That's assuming that they can actually go to work.
Yeah, that's true. But then again, I think that they're starting to slowly acclimate to working from home.
Yeah. It must be weird to develop a game from home, though, because
one of the
double checking process where you do something and then you like call over your, because I did take a game design course in one of my years in college, and the whole process really lends itself to like being able to physically call over your fucking boss and be like, hey, how's this, that type of stuff. So I wonder how they managed to do it online. It's no wonder that all these games are getting delayed.
I personally feel that they should be getting more used to it right now. I know that some of the companies, like especially Nintendo, has been hit hard by this. Like, partially because of all the hacks that have been happening because people are working from home and their at-home security isn't nearly as good as, like, Nintendo HQ security. But also the fact that, like, it's gotta be difficult. Especially programming for something like Smash. Programming for something like Smash must be fucking horrible right now.
I think it's especially for games like Smash where the director wants to put his hands in literally everything.
Well, that and the fact that, like, you gotta think about it. You're also going to have to test so much. Anytime a character is added into Smash,
you have to test them against every other fucking character, and that's
not
every
only
single
every
character,
but also every
interaction,
every stage.
What a nightmare.
Even some costumes sometimes could throw off coding. Like, you could have a costume and there could be one strange value in it, and then, whenever I hit this character with this costume, whole thing crashes.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I guess that, like, it really sucks. I'm hoping that the new Smash whatever, like the new Smash character, they actually just added a new stage, weirdly. I'm hoping that whatever character ends up coming next is announced sometime within the next month.
Oh yeah, there was a stealth patch, right?
Yeah. If 8.10, but there's also a rumor that sometime between, I think it was the 17th and the 21st, that there is going to be some type of Nintendo presentation.
All right, let's go, Goku.
And I think that, if I'm remembering right, it's by the guy who actually called the mini direct. Like, the guy who said that the mini direct was happening. And he, like, apparently that guy's just able to call things to the fucking minute.
Man, so, I don't know. I feel like my desire to play Smash is just completely fucking gone. All these goddamn kid diddlers and fucking clout chasers have absolutely eviscerated the goddamn scene. Whatever COVID didn't kill, these niggas fucking launched a goddamn drone strike. Fuck Smash, dude. I might not even get back into that competitive shit, man. These niggas.
I mean, isn't it the best time to get in now that they're all gone? Allegedly?
No, cause I feel like everybody's gonna be on fucking eggshells.
High alert.
Fucking high alert. You fucking looking.
But they were already that way.
Female and
stop it. Whoa. You shouldn't interact with females in your fucking professional gaming or whatever.
Well, you have to interact with people.
I'm talking about... You see how the whole Smash thing blew up. It's because these fucking dumbasses were trying to flirt. Girl? Boobies? Or usually, in the case of Smash Bros, boy, he got balls.
Stop.
But yeah, just stop fraternizing in your competitive hobby. That's what I would say.
I understand what you feel though. I don't feel it the exact same way. I've been going back into Dead or Alive a lot lately, which, despite the fact that I love Dead or Alive 6. Like, I will be one of those people who go to bat for that game as being some of the most exhilarating fun I have. But, fucking Tecmo Koei feels like they've abandoned that game so hard, aside from, like, scraping the fucking toilet bowl for money.
Yeah. I mean, there's a sale right now in the PlayStation Store. You can get Season Pass for only $60. 30% off.
Like, I'll say this to anybody. If you're ever going to fucking if you're going to get the game, just get the game. Right. Get the game.
If you want to get a DLC character, get the character. Fuck the Season Passes, dude.
Yeah, like, get the game and get the character. And if you see a fucking costume that you fucking really want, don't fucking get the Season Pass, because that's how they're tricking you. They're literally tricking you by being like, oh, you see this costume? If you buy all these costumes for all these characters that you're never going to play, then you can get all of them. And it's like, no, just fucking don't worry about it. It's not fucking worth it.
Don't get fucking tricked. Don't get nickeled and dimed.
No. I am happy though that we don't have to download compatibility packs anymore.
Yeah.
You guys remember that?
That was such a weird... It's because game devs, or mainly publishers, didn't want to fucking pay for patches. But
God, that's such a weird thing.
Yeah, it was the weirdest thing of the 7th generation. You have to pay sometimes $10,000 per patch.
Well, let's jump on to the last part of fighting game news, I guess.
Yeah, today a bunch of stuff was announced for Street Fighter V. Season 5, the final season.
The true successor to the Anatsuken fighting style, who made his own based off of this legendary art.
And how is he a true successor?
Hibiki
Dan
is coming back.
Their justification behind it is like, well, we put Blanca and Sakura in the game, so we might as well put Dan. Literally, that's their whole Dan is he's a fucking tutorial. Dan teaches you how to play Street Fighter V, and they're only adding him as a playable character now. It's like, we added his friends.
That's literally some fucking Machiavellian shit where it's like, no, what's the term? That's some fucking, oh god, now I can't remember the term.
That's real nigga shit, man. They finally started putting cool characters in instead of these lame ass niggas like fucking, what was it?
The other characters they announced.
Fucking...
No, Kage is Dan. Kage is Dan from an alternate universe.
Your favorite character, Ed?
Fuck Ed, that nigga's lame. Him and his sister or whatever. Falk.
No, they're not his sister. It's his clone. They're all clones of M. Bison.
Last I checked, Bison didn't have no blonde hair. I'm just saying.
This is some fucking. Can we just
Street Fighter?
Why is it the fighting game? Is there a single fighting game? Hang on. Is there a single big fighting game that doesn't have like clones?
No.
Tekken?
I mean, canonically, that the characters don't. That there's no clone of a character.
Tekken
has clones.
Tekken doesn't have any?
No,
Tekken does have a clone.
Who?
Well, I don't know if you can call it a clone.
Oh, you talking about Steve?
Sort of.
No, because Steve's not a clone.
No, but I was talking about Yoshimitsu.
No, he's just a dude. Like,
he's not a dude. He is not a dude. God damn it. Yoshimitsu is not a fucking just a dude.
He's a ninja. He's
passed
down since the
no. That's a misunderstanding. In the Soul Calibur timeline, yes, every Yoshimitsu is just the name of the clan leader. In the Tekken timeline, Yoshimitsu is a fucking artificial human. He's not human. He's like a fucking alien or something. It might still be that lore that he's from the Yoshimitsu clan, but I'm standing by this. He is not a human. If I'm wrong, correct me in the comments.
I don't know, man. That doesn't.
Anyways,
something about that don't sound right.
What I was gonna say is, really, most of Street Fighter's lore can be traced back to 2 fucking events, right? 1, fucking Goki wanting to be strong. 2, this nigga M. Bison don't know how to have kids. He made the dolls, right? He made Shadaloo, who made Seth, and they made, by proxy, all these other characters associated with Shadaloo. And then Akuma fucking around. And then everything else is well, I guess the Illuminati exists. Roll my eyes. But other than that, it's all Gucci.
Alright. But yeah, that's just about really, that's really about the only thing that is big.
We didn't name the other characters. Oro, Akira from Rival Schools, Rose, and a mystery character.
Akira being in, that's really cool. Rival Schools is fucking dead, so it's nice to get a little shout out every once in a while.
I feel like Akira's probably the only character who, out of all these, is really, what's the word I'm looking for?
Surprising
Surprising and kind of interesting, because I feel Rose is kind of boring at this point, just because she was in Street Fighter 4, so what she's gonna play like for the most part. Oro is kind of interesting.
Don't say that. Because don't say that. You cannot say that. Don't say that to jury players. Please do not say that to jury players, my nigga. Don't do that. You're disrespecting us.
Oro is also kind of interesting because we want to see if they have that one sprite. You know the one. You all know the one.
Ball sack.
Bro, did you know, for my Grand Blue Fantasy Versus players out there, my nigga Sorez, he got the legacy frame that Oro got, dude.
Stop it.
He does, dude. I don't know what they were thinking.
I know what they were thinking. They were like, see his balls.
That is honestly quite cursed.
Anything else you guys really want to bring up?
No, I noticed a pattern with Street Fighter seasons, I guess you should say. Because in this one they had Akira, right? Last one they had Lucia. The one before they had who was the weird guest-like character? I guess Zeku. Zeku was kind of like Strider. They're doing this thing where they have basically a Capcom character added to the Street Fighter roster, and that makes I don't know who the mystery character is going to be in that case. I would, in my heart of hearts, I would hope that it's somebody cool like Ashura or fucking Jean from God Hand. But since Ashura is already a costume for Kage,
I'm pretty sure that they're not going to have Ashura, especially at this point. I feel Capcom has kind of distanced themselves from the idea of Ashura's Wrath. Not in the fact that they're just oh fuck Ashura's Wrath, but more along the lines of they were like, all right, that was the thing we did. Let's keep moving forward.
I mean, he is in the Street Fighter universe. Never forget that.
Anyway, I'm gonna get ready to call it here. You got anything else?
I might make a fucking breakdown timeline video of the Street Fighter universe.
Oh my god!
But there's one other thing I wanted to bring up. It's if any of you guys browse the Exploding Bands website known as 4chan, for Reddit on SVU. Red Channel.
You mean Red Channel?
Yes. Added a new board, which is kind of a big deal because that website usually doesn't add new forums or new boards. And it's all about RPGs. And so far, from what I've been reading, the quality is pretty good. A lot of people are talking about stuff you probably wouldn't find on other forums. And we'll see if this quality keeps up, because it is a shitposting website. But I learned about some cool stuff on there. Yeah, I might bring this up later. I might, on the next podcast, I might talk about some of the games I've been recommended. Anything you want to add, Hawkeye?
Oh, no, nothing at all from me. Other than Felix needs some more training and Gundam Maxi Boost. He is still a young pilot, but he has the potential to be a true new type.
I would hope not. New types have horrible short lives.
They also have space autism.
Yes.
Anyway, take care from the Otaku Clubhouse. For Hawkeyes of the Final Brave, and for Bancho El Gato, Mr. Felix 656, etc., blah blah blah. This is Akuma Soul. Have a nice evening.
You don't get to speak for me.